In this edition of Beer 30, we take a tour of the Ste Genevieve Brewery with the owner, Micah Rousey.
Word of warning, everything in here is dangerous. The stairs are super narrow. I mean, they'll support you, and they'll support several people, but this is the good stairwell. I wouldn't even use the bad one. That's why we're...
So how old are these buildings?
This building was first constructed in 1894.
Oh, 430 years? Around 20 years. So it's been storage for a while?
Yeah. Yeah, so the brewery closed either at or shortly before Prohibition.
Really? Wow.
And has not been a brewery since.
Huh. Wow. So the sign out there is original from before the Prohibition?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lasted that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Brick has a tendency to stay there. I don't know if it's been repainted.
Okay.
Maybe.
And it was called Ste Genevieve Brewery.
St. Genevieve Brewery. Yeah. And then, it was actually the St. Genevieve Brewery and Lighting Company.
Huh.
So, back in the day, Lighting Company was the name for a power company.
Okay.
So they provided electricity. So this is the main area. This will be where our bedrooms are.
Okay.
And
So how much work does this place need to get up to code to live in?
A lot.
/ brewery? A lot, huh?
yeah, but we're coming from California. Well, my wife is originally from St. Genevieve, and I'm originally from California. We met out there, and this town is an absolute wonder for raising family and starting businesses. You know, Missouri is a lot friendlier to startups and businesses. In Sacramento, it took months and a couple $1,000s to have a business out of my house. And here it was 1 week and $25.
Wow.
So, you know, just for the business license and, you know, and to operate out of my house. And so that's the kind of difference from California versus Missouri and St. Genevieve.
Has the city been pretty supportive of you? Or
Yeah. You know, we had a board of aldermen meeting where they were going to approve the new use of this building, or the original use of this building, but for mixed use, for us to live in it and operate a brewery. And a lot of the town came to the meeting, some just to meet us, but most people were very enthusiastic with their support. So. Cool. That's why I'm pretty optimistic about the success, because if a small business like this, its main key to success is community support.
Yeah.
And so it seems like everybody's behind us. I've been working out here. Believe it or not, this is clean. Swept. That was all the trash that was just in this room.
Wow.
And people stop by and, you know, knock.
Yeah.
So I love it.
Sure, yeah.
So I think our laundry room and gym is probably going to be ready. This is what my wife asked. But then the rest of it will be brewery. There's still an odd number of things in here.
Is that old light bulbs?
No, that would be
Some sort of napkins or something? Oh, sanitary napkins. I guess I should have read it.
Jeez.
Hey, you were...
maxi pads.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Military issue, we believe.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
civil defense.
Yeah.
Huh.
There are a bunch of weird things in here.
Interesting.
So, as you can see, there's a lot of cleanup to do and a lot of work.
Yeah.
But the building's worth it.
You got a good shell, it looks like. I mean,
Well, wait till you see the back.
oh.
It looks like a great shelf in the front and the corner,
Yeah.
but there was I'll explain it when we get back there. There was a lot more to the building that they tore down before we got it. So this is one of the places that I definitely want to expand the brewing into, and I might even start brewing here. As you can see, these are the old footings for tanks that are likely original, and the
Tracks or whatever they are?
oh, it's for runoff.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Do the footings go all the way down?
No,
No.
no, but they're right on beams. I would suspect those kind of beams, so that one, you don't crack the concrete, and two, that you guarantee it's going to support the weight. Thankfully, the building has new wiring. We're not sure if it is usable.
Yeah.
We don't know yet how much was done. We bought it with the expectation that it needed everything.
Yeah.
And my wife's an architect, so she's been working on the plans for this since before we bought it.
That's
That's
how
it,
good
yeah.
shape it's in, actually.
yeah.
It's better than I expected.
Here's a bathroom that I've actually never really stepped into because there's no light in it. Yeah, but see, it's got a new electrical.
Yep.
So that's it for the upstairs. But there's a lot of the old hardware still left in here.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what that was for, but I'm pretty darn sure that's original to the hardware for the brewery. We had runners across the beams.
Yep.
So we'll probably take down a lot of that so that it's not, so that it can still be seen elsewhere in the brewery. But this is going to get a real ceiling.
This
Right.
is going to be still your living quarters.
This whole area.
Yeah, that'll be our front door, but we're going to do something a little bit different. Buildings got modified in the 30s and the 40s without any city approval, and you can tell they widened this. And what they did was seriously compromised that arch because they took out the support.
Oh, yeah.
So, there used to be brick that came all the way down underneath that arch, and so we're going to replace that, and there's actually a set of doors in here that I'll show you. And so this room here will be our main brewing operation. And we'll have a dumbwaiter to bring things upstairs if we need to bring bags of grain up there or what have you.
Wow, lots of old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those doors look really old.
That'll be our front door.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking about 2 years or so?
We hope so.
Estimate?
I'm hoping that the brewery, the business will be open for business earlier than that.
Okay.
But there's still the licensing issues and all that kind of stuff that we need to get through. It's a lot easier than people think. It's a lot of paperwork. But as long as the city is behind you, everyone else is, and they're actually there to help you. The state and the feds want you to have a brewery.
Really?
They make
Right.
taxes on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they want you to be successful because they'll make more.
Mm-hmm.
A successful business is good for everybody, and Ste Genevieve really is behind it because they would like to see this building put back up.
Right.
If it was just the business, this building might be too expensive to start a brewery, and if you were going to start a new brewery, this building might be a little much. But Julie being an architect and me being appreciative of that, and it'll be our house too.
Right.
Well, you're making a multi-purpose for the whole thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of advantages.
Yeah.
To what we're going to spend to get this done. So this will be the tasting room. So we'll have a pretty good sized tasting room.
Yeah.
And we're going to restore those doors with glass panels. And then, my initial thought is bar here. I'm gonna have a large refrigerated section back here. Ste Genevieve Brewery is gonna do all live beers. So, I'll have firkins, not kegs. Casks. And all of the bottled beer will be bottle conditioned, and the casks will be cask conditioned. So it'll be kind of one of the more unique things that you'll be able to experience with beer is true live beer. And so I'll have the casks sticking out of the refrigerated section here. 4 or 5 of them, always with different beers. If you come in a different month, then
neat.
It'll be something different.
So you plan on keeping this pretty much as is far as the exposed brick and...
You'd have to ask my wife about that. She's the architect. I would assume that there would be plenty of exposed brick, yeah. But she knows all of the rules and all of the advantages to do something one way or another.
Yeah.
I'm an IT guy, so.
How long have you been brewing?
Just a couple years. About a year and a half. So the Christmas beer, the pumpkin beer that I brewed for last year was my first with Ste Genevieve Brewery. With the idea that this would come to fruition, and so looks like it is. We bought the place, so there's that. Let's go take a look around the back. And it goes all the way back to the big glass pane doors that will be our front door. So you can see the remnants of what used to be the rest of it. So there was a single story that extended off of this building, and it went all the way back to these footings that you see. And about 2 years ago, they tore it down.
Just got really bad, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
And that was the entire length down there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was
wow.
It was a lot of building that was left. We already had one dumpster full of rubble go out, and it looks like we have at least one more.
Planning any outdoor type stuff?
Well,
Patio?
it'll mostly be our backyard.
Okay.
Our special use permit doesn't specifically allow for outdoor events.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that we can't ask for a one-time permit, to have an outdoor event, but this is, as you can see, a residential neighborhood.
Right.
So that's another reason why we wanted a tasting room and not a bar, and not a pub, not a restaurant. It's houses everywhere, and that used to be a bar. It developed somewhat of a bad reputation, and so I know that no one is behind that becoming a bar again, and so I didn't want to open a bar.
Right.
And I'm going to be living here. I don't want to. I'm
Right.
too old to live next to a bar.
Yeah.
If I was still in my 20s, maybe that would be attractive, but not anymore. And that building used to actually be the bottling area for the original Ste Genevieve Brewery, and it was brick. It was stuccoed over it.
So are you thinking bottling and then distributing out, or just distributing from here, or?
Well, to start, it's just going to be here.
Okay.
And there are lots of places in town that are interested in carrying the beer, mostly to support, the local business.
Right.
So there will be a small distribution within town to start. My biggest worry is I'm not going to be able to brew enough beer, which is a good worry to have. But I'll figure it out. Probably do some contract brewing with other breweries if I have to go to St. Louis for someone with availability for if they can spare some fermenters, then I'll go out there to get some beer. But it'll be my recipes. I like to kind of do weird stuff with beer.
Well, that's good to hear. That I like to hear that you're doing something different,
Yeah, the breweries that I find inspiration from are like Dogfish Head. and Rogue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not for everyone. I understand it's not for everyone, but I think it's for enough people to want to try, and there'll be 3 or 4 or 5 different beers a month out of here. So I want to encourage people, once a month, make a trip from St. Louis, come on down and try out what I've got. The tasting is going to be pretty cheap, but then you get to try all of those things, and if you like it, then buy some.
Yeah.
And if you don't, give me your opinion, because I'm going to be soliciting those opinions. We're going to do super small batches that are only going to be available in the brewery until I get feedback that, this is a winner.
Right.
Then I'm going to brew those on a larger scale and then send
Right.
it
So you're gonna sell them by cask or growler, or how are you gonna, for people to take home?
by bottle. Just bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think most people have the equipment for a cask, but we're also going to do custom beer. So one of the lines that I wanted to go down was, if you're getting married and you want to have a custom beer brewed, then you can come over here and we'll do whatever quantity you think you need for your wedding reception. And, the couple can come help brew it.
Oh,
That's a neat idea.
that is neat.
Yeah.
So I've heard of a couple different breweries doing that in the United States. I don't think there are any around here that are doing that, but we're gonna be able to brew on such different scales that it'll be small enough to where we can brew a beer for your party or your wedding. Come on in.
Yeah.
New electrical did not make it in here. So this will be our residential basement. And we still don't know what to do with all of it because, we'll show you. Very careful with your hand. If you hit this too hard, it will close.
And there's no way out.
Well, there's no way out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You can see the skeletons in here.
But
Yeah. I don't think I'm getting any. Yeah.
here, I'll
I've got one too.
shine on the stairs. You can make it down to here. You can even step on there if you want.
Oh, it's all.
And then, so there's a barrel stone ceiling,
Oh, cool.
both here and back there. And it's huge.
Oh man.
And if you can see that little opening, that's a tunnel that goes to the bottling plant.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah, well,
but it's been
check it
sealed
out.
off.
Yeah.
So, and I don't own the other side.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
That'd be pretty cool for historical value.
Yeah.
yeah. So you can see there's some of the old piping.
Wow.
I think that's what that is. And then there's definitely, my guess is what they did was they brewed in the main section here and fermented either in here or in there and then piped it next door
Oh.
for the bottling plant. So they
Right.
piped it down here,
Right.
which would be a lot easier to maintain, easier to take control
Sure.
of. And it keeps your bottling noise away from the production noise.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a cool spot.
It is cool.
Yeah. You're gonna use it probably for barrels and stuff down there, or what?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, now it's a lot easier to build in a refrigeration unit.
Yeah.
And so we'll have temperature controlled areas upstairs, on the first floor, maybe on the second floor too. It depends on where we want everything done. I just tell my wife what we need and she says, okay, I'll build it in. So, yeah. That's the building.